week with your palate cleansers. Show me what you got.
Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Audionots, your pop culture palate cleanser. I am Eric Oldboy, online with the notorious REN. What up, my dude?
What it do?
How's it going? What have you been up to?
Man, you could see my face so clear now.
Oh my God. So anybody who's not viewing us on the YouTubies, you need to jump on there and check out Ren's new camera that he's got rocking, because he looks like a sweet little baby doll.
Yeah. So I got into a new hobby, it's what COVID does.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
It's what COVID does to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You done get done by COVID and now you're
Yeah.
into a new hobby.
Yeah, we stay home, saving lives. Like, what can we do? What else can we do? So I picked up some photography.
Yeah, you've been so into photography lately that you got me into photography. And so I'm going to start getting some stuff too and like trying to copy you.
Yeah, well, because, as designers, we're like exposed to a lot of not just, graphic design. We're exposed to like video editing, video, audio editing, all this sorts of stuff, right? Where our background is very broad. And photography has been like a kind of hobby-ish, but just never got the chance to do it,
Yeah.
And then one weekend, I was like, you know what? I think it's time.
You're going to commit to it.
Yes, I had this camera for a while. It's just like a Canon. And then looking into how to take really...
It's like a DSLR, correct?
Yeah, DSLR. So wanted to look into, taking those dope portrait photography.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, you got to get this lens. So, I spent some money and bought me a dope ass lens.
Yeah, you straight look like 8K. Like you're in the future and I'm like 5 years behind you. Like I'm running off of just a MacBook, and the MacBook says that I'm in high def. I'm in HD right now.
Way, man.
And for anybody watching this, look at my HD compared to his. Like, which way is it? This way? Wait, how do I even point that way?
Oh,
I can never point. This way. He's in like straight up like 10K.
Yeah, so I got a 50 mil for my photography. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm already buying lens. Let's try to improve our video quality too. So for this setup, I bought a 24 mil.
Yeah.
So it's like basically made for people that use that vlog or do stuff like this.
To do exactly what you're doing. Yeah.
It takes a lot of good photos too, but I'm strictly using this one for this. So it looks really nice.
Great. Yeah, I was when you like popped in, I'm like, holy crap, that looks amazing. So yeah, I'm totally gonna do the same thing. So give me a couple months and I'm gonna look like Ren on the video.
Yeah, thanks for the Zoom's little filter. You can filter all my flaws.
It's awesome.
But yeah, so I'm trying to get out and do more photography if weather permits.
Okay.
I did one session over the weekend with my wife and her sisters. Turned out really good, and the photos turned out like I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I saw those pictures and they look like a professional photographer. So I think that you need to start selling some pictures, and then you're a professional. That's all it takes.
Yeah, because like I said, our design background's given us the edge. So it's just us actually going out and doing it.
Yeah, no, I love it. So the best part is you get to do it on your own. Plus now that's something you can benefit Vigilante with. So if anybody wants to get graphic design and they want photographer, we're both trying to be the photographers of the future, because I'm a professional photographer.
Yeah, we're not photographers. We're photographers.
Yeah, forget that noise. We're photographers.
Yeah, I'll post those photos I took on our Vigilante accounts. Instagram. And if you guys want to check it out, go check it out.
Yeah, I thought they turned out super good. I really dug how well the shots were. Like you said, it's not just the equipment though; it's also the person using the equipment. And we really, because of our backgrounds, have the ability to take more artistic and beautiful pictures probably than the average Joe. I mean, anybody can learn it, but we can learn it probably faster because of our graphic design background.
And post, Post is probably one of the hardest things to learn. A lot of people will say, I can just pick up a camera and go shoot photos, but what happens next? And what are you going to do with it? Sort of thing.
Right.
And we've been, photoshopping for, so many.
That's right.
Years, so
While we may not always take the pictures, we've been photoshopping since the dawn of time.
yeah. So just like video, everybody can go out, get a drone or dope ass gimbal, whatever, shoot some video. But what happens? What do you do with it next? What do you have the time for it? What are you gonna just what do you plan to do with it? And that's the question.
There you go. So everybody needs to sign up for some photography, sign up for some graphic design, vigilante.com, where the coolest dudes there are. Yeah. What else have you been up to?
Designing. I've been drawing a lot too.
Yeah, I saw you got that. You got all the newest cool stuff. You were like rocking the iPad Pro the other day, and I walked in and you were like straight up drawing some like Among Us, like what do they call those, crewmates?
Yeah.
You're like going all sus on some crewmates, doing them Mong style. I thought it was dope as heck, man. It looked great.
Yeah, I made one on the anime side too, where Naruto, if you watch that, his like rival's name is Sasuke. So I made a Sasuke.
It's genius.
It's like a plump pun, And
so good.
It is up on my TeePublic up there.
TeePublics, yeah. Always buy the TeePublics.
So
that's awesome. So you got all sorts. I've been throwing some new designs up too, but mine aren't nearly as cool as yours.
Yeah, because like our main workplace, I take my breaks. I force myself to use my iPad. That way I can have more drawing, time. Otherwise, I'm just gonna use it to watch like shows and do nothing with my iPad Pro.
I was impressed how good it works. Because I remember in the old days, you convinced us to get those. What were they? Those big giant tablets.
Oh, the Wacom brand.
The Wacom. Oh yeah, the Wacoms. And we got the Wacoms, and then nobody used them. They were like, because you had to have the black pad on the ground, and you had to be able to draw down while looking up on the screen, and it was like it was really not intuitive at all. But when I was watching you draw on the iPad Pro, which is like drawn on a piece of paper, but almost better because you could just instantly change colors, fix things you don't like.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. I saw people using that to like edit photos too. I'm like, whoa.
Interesting.
That's like my brain can't handle any more hobbies, man.
You're going to start having to make like those training YouTube videos. You show other people how to do it.
The thing is, I don't know enough myself.
None of these people know anything. They all just pretend. You just roll on. Like, you have some cool ass graphic, and then you talk about one thing for 10 minutes so you get your advertising dollars.
Yeah. I'm going to draw my impasta for 10 minutes. This is how you do it.
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it. That's YouTube 101 right there, baby.
I mean, we have all the equipment. Why not, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I love it. You've been doing anything other than working? Any fun stuff?
Well, that is all fun stuff.
That's true.
If you're doing what you enjoy, that's not even work.
If you love how you work what you love, or something. There's a phrase there I can't remember.
Yeah, but just try and stay safe. COVID's going rapid again, so
oh my gosh, COVID has gone ham. In fact, on this episode, I got some sweet news stories. But one of the big news stories that I'm going to give everybody at the end is they did this big data test, and like supercomputers running on this big data test, and they found the 4 most super spreader places that you should absolutely not go to in the next couple of months, because we're heading into the hot zone. Everybody's like, we all think we've been through the pandemic. Guess what, guys? Hold my beer. We haven't even started what the pandemic's going to look like. And so I'm going to tell you, everybody's got to stick around, and we're going to tell you the 4 places you should absolutely 100% avoid in the next couple of months. And it's going to be so hard. You're not going to want to. You're not going to like it, but you're going to have to do it.
We've been living the prequel only, man.
Yeah, I know. This is just the prequel. We haven't even got into the bad trilogy.
So what have you been up to? They always ask me.
Oh, that's true. What have I been up to?
Some nuts might want to know what you've been up to too.
Yeah, we've been my middle daughter moved out. We've been remodeling her room, so now we have a bonus room, and we've been remodeling it to be. Kid Danger and I are thinking about doing a streaming Twitch channel that might be kind of like a sister station to the Audionots.
Yeah.
So we've been kind of messing around. He's got the PC gaming computer, and he's got all of the gaming capabilities. And we thought maybe the gimmick would be he sits there and he games like a badass, and I just sit there on the microphone and comment like a dumbass. So it's badass and dumbass. Maybe that's the name. I don't know. But
You're like,
we've been doing that.
Got him.
And And then we, like a bunch of psychopaths, we decorated for Christmas. You know, we're like,
yeah.
we're like, you know what? It's nuts outside. You shouldn't be doing a bunch of stuff. And we've been trying to stay home, do our part. You know, this is the one time when staying home and being lazy literally makes you a hero. You know, you don't do it for yourself because you know you're sitting at home thinking, I'm okay. It won't hurt me. Maybe it won't. But you know what? You're saving all those other people. So stay your ass home, decorate for Christmas like we did. So we did Christmas way early. We got ourselves a fake ass tree from Costco. Looks super good. And we went ham. We decorated
Nice.
the entire house. It's fantastic.
Yeah, dude, my wife did that too. Like our room, it's
Nice.
decked out with Christmas. She even got presents underneath the tree now too.
Oh, you already got, so you're a step ahead of us. So we have the
dude.
tree up and we have the decor, but no presents yet. So we're not quite that far. Part of our problem though is we have a couple little a-hole cats.
Oh yeah.
That may very well tear open presents if we put them out too soon.
It'd be funny if like one day like your grandkids, right? You're like, you know what, kids? Back when I was younger, I used to save the world by staying home.
Yeah,
Or
like our
something like
grandparents used to say, I walked uphill both ways in the snow with no shoes. And we'll be like, well, when I was old, we never went anywhere. We just stayed at home and saved lives.
Yep.
So, other than that, I've been watching the tubes. There's lots of good tubes. I think this is the perfect time to jump into the healthy stream. I think I want to save the best for last because I really want to have some hot Mando talk. So we'll hit Disney Plus as our last one because I really don't have a ton of streaming. You know, that's those with the combination of COVID, right? So they're not making anything new. Everything's getting canceled. And then I'm sure a few of you may have remembered last week was a little election. They were like voting for something like a president or I don't know, some other things. And so that kind of killed everything on TV too. So I don't have a ton of like, oh, it's amazing streaming. So I was really digging at the bottom of the barrel to find things to watch. But I found a show. I found a show I want to tell everybody about on Amazon Prime. I started watching a show called Truth Seekers, and I think we talked about it a little bit. I told everybody originally when I heard about it, and I think even maybe last episode I may have mentioned that I'd seen like the first few episodes. Well, I've seen the whole series now, and I can tell you that Truth Seekers is pretty good. It's not like if we're doing our famous nuts rating system, it's a solid 6.5, 7. So it's better than average. You'll probably have a good time, but you're not gonna be like, oh my God, this is amazing, like Utopia or like any other these like Stranger Things, those kind of shows, or The Boys. It's good, but not that good.
I don't know. I haven't been watching anything besides
sports. There has been more sports.
Well, like I've been occupying my time with Clone Wars like all day, every day.
Been watching Mad Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Nice. What else was on? Oh, I watched another show too that was kind of like Space Force on Netflix over on Showtime because they had a deal thanks to like because I don't think most stores are doing a Black Friday. So everybody who likes to get up early and go or even leave, it got to the point where they're leaving on Thanksgiving night to go hunt down their favorite deals at the stores. Most of the stores, because they're trying to keep you from catching the COVIDs for Christmas, are doing a full month of Black Friday sales. So you have to be online and really paying attention. And I got Showtime. They put Showtime on sale for 99 cents a month. So about 2 months worth of Showtime for $2. And one of the shows that just debuted on Showtime is called Moonbase 8. And Moonbase 8 is very much like Space Force. And the entire premise is these 3 guys are practicing to go to the moon. And so they've set them up with a fake lunar base in Arizona.
Right.
They have to wear the space suits, everything. They have to absolutely treat it like it's the real deal. They can't walk outside like normal. They have to pretend like there's no atmosphere, all this stuff, but they're idiots. And so it's like John C. Reilly, the dude from Portlandia, and some other guy, another actor I didn't recognize. And in the first episode, there was a 4th astronaut who was played by Travis Kelce. And for those unsportsy audio nuts out there, Travis Kelce is the starting tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he's pretty darn good. But it's really funny. So I recommend Moonbase 8. I wouldn't say it's any better or worse than Space Force. It's very similar in tone and style.
You know what they would have done? They should have done because
What's that?
you know how you spoiled it. Should we just spoil it for them?
I can spoil it for them because I spoiled it
Okay.
for you. Okay,
Yeah.
here. Spoiler alert. If you absolutely don't want to know anything about Moonbase 8, I'm about to spoil only the first episode. So, in the first episode, they make Travis Kelsey out. He's there simply as a PR stunt. And 2 out of the 3 astronauts are pissed off because they don't think he tries very hard. He kind of bosses everybody around because he's a multi-millionaire in a fake space base with a bunch of dipshits. But the main guy is totally looks up to Travis Kelsey. So even though he's the boss, Travis Kelsey tells him what to do all the time. Along the episode, something happens where their water tank runs out of water. And Travis Kelsey's like, we just need to dig a well. And they're like, dude, you can't dig a well. How's that going to work? He's like, no, we got to dig a well. And so they go out to dig a well, and Travis Kelsey ends up digging a hole and falling to this death and dying. And they kill Travis Kelsey off in the first episode. And then they kind of do a whole cover up where they make it seem like it was his fault, not theirs, because everything they did was completely wrong, and it was kind of their fault that he's dead. And so it was just really funny that they introduced this character that was it looked like he was going to be big time. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Travis Kelsey's in this. And then they off him right away.
Travis Kelsey playing Travis Kelsey.
It was like douchebag Travis Kelsey. So it was real life Travis Kelsey playing douchebag Travis Kelsey, which is my favorite type. If I was an actor that wasn't, or a celebrity that wasn't normally on TV, I would always want to play a douchey version of myself because it'd be way funnier to play.
They should have like got, so you know how he dies, but they're like, oh no, we need to replace him and get his twin brother, but then get you know, from the Memphis Grizzlies, Valanciunas. He looks just like Kelsey, dude. They're like freaking twins, man. I swear.
That's funny. I didn't even know that. So he's got a doppelganger playing in the NBA.
Yeah, if you look up Kelsey and Valanciunas,
Yeah,
they have like comparison pictures. Dude, they're like twins.
you know, and the one thing I have to give Travis Kelsey props for is he's a decent actor. I mean, they were careful with not giving him too many lines, seeing as how he's a professional athlete, but he played the part pretty good. It wasn't like clunky and stupid. He's easily right now as good an actor as Vin Diesel.
I am Groot.
Yeah, so everybody watch for Travis Kelsey to be some sort of action star as soon as his NFL career is over, for sure.
Didn't they do like some kind of TV show with him, like where he's like the Bachelor or something?
They might have, you know what? Now that I'm thinking of it, I'm really glad you brought that up because my wife, we may have mentioned this before, watches anything that's trash TV. And there was a show on, I want to say Bravo, that was called Living with the Kelseys or Keeping Up with Kelsey or something.
Oh yeah.
And it was him and like one of these housewife ladies. And so he had his own reality show that was like a housewives show.
Oh yes, yeah. I knew he was. Yeah, he's basically after football, dude. He's gonna be TV for
Definitely.
sure.
He's a good looking dude too. So I'll give him props. He's an awesome tight end. I wish he was on my fantasy team.
I know I drafted the wrong tight end.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because
I had a good guy.
I went second round.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get Kelsey because like, you know what? I'm gonna get Kettle. It turns out freaking Kettle's injured, dude.
Yeah, he was good. He was good until he got hurt. Everybody on the San Francisco 49ers got hurt though. So what can you do? What can you do? Over on Netflix, so there's not a lot going on Netflix right now that people haven't already heard of and or watched. But I did see a little tidbit that they just signed David Fincher to a 4-year deal. Do you know off the top of your head what David Fincher, which movies he's most famous for?
Do I know him?
Yes, you do. And I'm going to tell you. So David Fincher, why I got excited about this, recently he's been doing a lot of TV. So he's done, oh, you're cheating. I can see it glowing in your face, in your amazing 10K face.
Oh, yeah.
David Fincher most recently has done movies like TV shows like Mindhunter and House of Cards. So he's been doing a lot of things on Netflix anyways. But now he's been locked in exclusively with a 4-year deal. But where I fell in love with David Fincher is one of my all-time favorite director is he made multiple, including my all-time favorite film. David Fincher directed Fight Club, which is my favorite film.
Oh, right.
He directed Seven, which is one of my top 10 favorite films.
What's in the box?
He directed The Game, Panic Room, Zodiac, Social Network, Gone Girl. I mean, this dude's been just cranking out hits. He's a great director. So I think that's exciting. I know the average noob gets excited when they hear about like exclusive deals with Adam Sandler and garbage like that, and Adam Sandler just turns out like piles of turd every 3 months.
His views, though, man. All
Yeah,
about the views.
it's true. He's always there. But if you look up Netflix top 10 movies, they're like all Adam Sandler movies. So it is what it is. That's why we all have the COVIDs, because of brains like that. But David Fincher's a great director. He only he's almost one of these guys. He's found the perfect mix of taking that kind of artsy fartsy filmmaker guy, but bringing it into a commercial grade movie. And so it's like, it's well thought out. The cinematography is amazing. It's well acted. He's just a good director. So it makes me excited just knowing on his catalog of what he's made in the past.
Yeah, I remember watching Gone Girl, and after I watched it, like, damn, this is a good ass movie.
Dude, he's a great director. And like I said, Fight Club changed my life. Fight Club is one of my it is my all-time favorite movie. And Fight Club is the only movie that I've seen in the theater twice. I saw it once, and I immediately wanted to take other people to see it. I'm like, you guys have to come see this movie. It's insane. Nice. And so I dragged everybody out to see the Fight Clubs. But yeah, it's exciting to have David Fincher locked in the TV realm, I think.
So what is he gonna do? Is there any like teasers at all?
Well, the first thing he's doing is a movie called Mank, and you can watch the trailer for it right now. And I didn't bring that into my tasty trailers because this is probably one of the movies where he did go more artsy fartsy than commercial directing. So I wasn't going to include that part. But yeah, the first thing he's putting out is a movie called Mank, and it's basically, if I remember right, it's about the writer who wrote one of these like classic movies. Now I can't think of it, but he was working with director Orson Welles, and someone ends up getting murdered, and the whole thing's filmed in like black and white. So it's I'm not sure that's a movie that's going to appeal to everybody. Certainly not the Adam Sandler fans in the world. But knowing that he did the House of Cards and that he did Mindhunter, that we know he's going to make some dope ass shows.
Maybe before he like signed the deal, he's like, if I sign this, you're gonna play my movie.
He's like, you have to play this movie. No one else will play it.
Yeah,
this is my one true love. No, yeah. So there you go, David Fincher coming to the Netflix. Over on Disney Plus, my Star Wars bros, it's time to get your lightsabers full and ready, because this is the way. We're gonna talk some hot Mando talk.
Cue the theme song.
Yes, love the theme song.
Yeah, it's so funny, dude. Every time I listen to it, I freaking laugh. And then like, it gets in your head, and you're just singing it the whole damn day. Like,
that's the best part, bro. I spent literally minutes on that, so don't ditch the quality. You gotta love it.
Yeah, that's an original.
That is an original, so we will not get in trouble. Yeah, Mandalorian episode 2. I gotta tell you what, man. I liked episode 1 a lot.
Wait,
episode
hold on.
2, yes.
We missed last week, so we never talked about episode 1.
That's true. We did miss last week. Okay, let's talk about both. So let's talk about episode 1 and 2. For me, episode 1 was great. It was a solid 7. For me, episode 2, I almost said it. It was a 10. Episode 2 was a 10 because I loved it. The one thing that stood out to me so far this season is the special effects are like way better than last year. I feel like because they can't commit money to anything else, that they've spent a lot of money on effects, and the stories still are giving us that Western kind of feel, and I'm digging it. What are you thinking so far?
Yeah, because episode 1 was straight out Western, like space Western,
super Western. And episode 1, here's some spoilers are coming for anybody who hasn't watched Mandalorian season 2 yet, but that's on you because you should have. If you're a Mandalorian fan, you're watching it every Friday.
Day 1, man.
Yeah, but Timothy Oliphant shows up rocking Boba Fett armor, and you're like, what the hell is this?
He looks so dumb though when he appeared all like just like scrawny and standing there. I'm like, what the hell is this trash, dude?
It's like a poor man's cosplay. It's like all he could afford was the helmet, so he just threw it on with his sweats.
Yeah. And like, it's funny because like he was like a regular dude, and then once he put on the helmet, he became like untouchable.
Yeah, one thing I didn't catch on when we were watching it, and that I've seen the Redditors, because Reddit, they always catch all the good stuff,
Oh yeah,
is that Jon Favreau is the main producer of The Mandalorian, and he brings in different directors for different episodes. And I'm not honestly, I should have looked. I'm not sure if he directed episode 1 or not, but they said that he had an influence on the scene where Cobb Vanth, is that his name, or Vanth Cobb or something, whatever Timothy Oliphant's character is called. I feel like
well,
Cobb,
maybe I don't know. I'm so
maybe
bad with
Cobb
names.
on the corn. Anyways, he does this thing where they're trying to shoot at this giant worm that's like ripping hell out of everything, and he's got the helmet and he's got the backpack with the missile in it, like the old Boba Fett stuff.
Yeah,
And he bends over and he shoots the missile at it, and he kind of walks away from it. And someone showed that was an exact replica of Iron Man 1, when Iron Man pulls up his arm and shoots lasers out of it and then walks away. Like exactly the way that scene's laid out is the same. It's pretty, and someone put them literally side by side and ran them. I'm like, damn, that's
oh for
pretty
reals?
clever. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a Favreau thing, huh? He
yeah.
did that.
Favreau knew what's up. But yeah, the more I think, what's funny about that episode, so since we're still on episode 1, is I liked it when I watched it, but the more I think about it, the more I like it. It's almost like a good flavor. Like when you're eating something that has a really strong flavor, and at first you're kind of like, oh, it's kind of good, but it's so strong.
Yeah.
But if like a few minutes later, like, that was good. That's what episode 1 is. You're like, that's pretty good. The more I talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I reminisce on something I just saw. I'm like, that I like that episode.
Yeah, because like I feel like this show is so well thought out that everything matters and it ties with each other, And they made it seem
Yeah.
like this is the end of Corn on the Cob, Timothy's character, but
I think Cobb Vanth is right, because someone made a
Cobb
joke,
Vanth.
might have even been me, about Vanth's refrigeration, and it was like Cobb Vanth refrigeration from The Office.
Yeah, because like they made it seem like this is like his episode and that's it, But I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he's gonna come back, because it's everything's gonna tie in together somehow.
And the fans are wanting it. So Timothy Oliphant's like one of these good-looking old dudes, and everybody wants him to come back because he was giving us that kind of Han Solo vibe. And that's Star Wars always has that guy, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you got your Poe Damerons, sometimes you got your Han Solos, and now Mando has Cobb Vanth. And so you always have this one dude that's got more swagger than he needs to have, or than he deserves almost. Like he just thinks he's all that. And he's not really, but that's what makes it kind of funny and good
Yeah.
at the same time.
I mean, like it's cool too because we get to see a lot of packs, rocket packs. They're
rocket packs.
Jet packs. There we go.
Oh yeah, the jet pack. Okay. I thought you were trying to name somebody.
You got a brain fart there, but
yeah,
a lot of jet packs, and it kind of shows you how they kind of like foreshadow how Boba Fett survives, right? In a way.
Exactly. I think so too, because you see him get eaten. He gets eaten on purpose. And because we learned that armor can withstand that particular worm, which is the same thing that took down Boba. And he was able to pop out of there by blowing it up from the inside.
Yeah. So you're like, that's probably how Boba survived.
I think you're exactly right. I think that not only did that episode foreshadow how it happened, but it also told us it brought back some memories, like the same thing where Han Solo smacked Boba Fett and his rocket went all out of control. We saw Mando do that to Cobb Vanth, and he's like, woo! And he just like rocketed out of there like the Rocketeer.
Save the child.
Yeah, you gotta save the child.
That's it. Everything has a meaning, man. You just gotta look for it.
Yeah. And then you jump to episode 2. Episode 2 was marvelous. Episode 2 was the scary episode for kids. So you bring in your 8-year-old, he's going to be creeped out. But for everybody else, it was fantastic. What a great episode.
Yeah, because like it has like two ranges, right? The creep range and the cuteness range, all in one episode.
Yeah, and some amazing moments where you just laugh your ass off. Like there were 2 moments in that one where it killed me. The first moment was actually some verbal wordplay, which you don't get a lot from The Mandalorian, but the one lady on I forget what her name is that always like watches his ship while he's off doing stuff.
Yeah.
She like vouches for the frog lady. She's like, oh yeah, I vouched my life on it. Then later on, she admits that she just met her. He's like, I thought you vouched for her. He's like, oh yeah, I got a good feeling. That was really funny, I thought. And then obviously the funniest moment of it all was when Baby Yoda, the child, grabbed a hold of Frog Lady's eggs and started sucking them down like they were boba from like the yogurt shop. That was so funny.
It's freaking funny, man. He just keeps eating it, and Mando's like, "Stop it!"
And then we learned. Oh, I was talking to, and we probably talked to him separately, but we were talking to our Star Wars historian from work, and he was giving me all sorts of hot facts that Dave Filoni, for anybody who listens to this podcast or watches a lot of Star Wars stuff, we talk about Dave Filoni. He's kind of like almost the brains anymore of a lot of the Star Wars stuff since George Lucas left. He's been doing Clone Wars. He was the brains behind Rebels, Resistance, some of the prequels. So you name it, Dave Filoni's, he's Mr. Continuity. He brings everything together. And so he's
also, Star Wars now, man.
He really is. And he's also a producer on The Mandalorian. And he's been playing a part in it. He's one of the X-Wing fighter pilots. Yeah. And the other fighter pilot was, tell him who it was.
Oh, Mr. Kim, dude.
Mr. Kim himself. I couldn't believe that. Like, I saw that. I go, is that Mr. Kim? And because I'm the only one in my household that really watches that show, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I recognize that beard from anywhere.
I was so glad that you confirmed it. I'm like, that's amazing. So, yeah, you got Mr. Kim and Dave Filoni as the X-Wing pilots that saved the day.
You know what's funny about that one scene, though? When Mando's like, may the force be with you, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But then, you know, at the very in season 1, he was telling the other Mandalorian that this child can move things with his mind, you know? So he doesn't even know what the force is. And then is he saying it to him like it's like a saying, you know?
I think it is. I think that the rebels kind of picked that up as they all started saying it thanks to Luke Skywalker and the whole group. And so I think that he was just trying to say it so they'd get off his ass and not space police him.
So it's kind of like he doesn't realize that the force is what Yoda's doing.
Yeah.
And he's realized he just said it because it's kind of like I see you later. You know,
yeah,
sort of thing? Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think he's putting one and one together, that he's carrying around a force being in his own vessel.
Yeah, because I thought that was kind of like, I had to think about that one.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. It's a really good point. Yeah, so that was amazing 2 episodes. Tomorrow's episode 3. So by the time we do another podcast, we'll be able to talk about that one.
You never talked about why it was creepy.
Oh, that's right. It was creepy because of all the spiders, and I think it's in Rebels. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those spiders were in an episode of Rebels, and they were really creepy in the cartoon as well. So we see all these kind of continuity pieces, like I said, from Dave Filoni carrying over ideas and characters. Oh, and at the very end, the biggest part, I mean, once you get past all the alien creepy ass spiders, which by the way looked fantastic, the special effects were great. I mean, that's what makes it creepy, when you don't fall out of the illusion. Yeah. At the very end of the episode, we get some Boba Fett. We actually get to see the actor that played Jango Fett in the prequels playing Boba Fett at the very end.
No,
that was in episode 1, huh?
That was episode 1.
Oh, I'm conflating the two.
Yeah, we've been off for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it confirmed that Boba's alive.
Boba's alive and well, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how because they're clearly Mando's on a mission to find more Mandalorian, because he thinks that's the only way that he's going to be able to get to the Jedi that he needs to find. And I think that, like we mentioned before, that he's going to find like Bo-Katan or Sabine Wren, and they're going to help him. So we're going to see some more characters carry over from Rebels.
Yeah, that's why I'm really going ham on Clone Wars and trying to reach Rebels, because they're introducing all sorts of characters from those shows.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, I love it. It's really fun for a Star Wars fan to see an animated character come to life. And I've already finished Clone Wars, and I've already finished Rebels, and right now I'm watching Resistance. So it's the last canon cartoon because all three of those are considered canon. Resistance is also on Disney Plus, but it's a lot different animation style. So whereas Rebels and Clone Wars are like computer animated, I can't even tell if Resistance is maybe some sort of animation, but it looks more 2D. It's more like flat cartoon, almost like anime animation.
Yeah, but then it has a little hint of 3D with it too.
Yeah, like the newer style. It took me a minute to get used to it because it was so dramatically different than the other ones. And I would say Resistance is definitely geared more towards younger kids, but it's still good. I'm happy to admit that I enjoy watching Resistance while I eat my salad at lunch because it's a good show.
Didn't our Star Wars guru said that the Mandalorian's gonna lead up to the Resistance? You think?
Yeah, that's what he was saying. So that would be good too, because in Resistance, the cartoon, Poe Dameron is in it somewhat, and it's actually the actual voice of Oscar Isaac. Princess Leia, or Princess or Queen Organa, or whatever the hell they call it, General Organa, is in it, even though it's not her voice, because unfortunately Carrie Fisher has passed. But they do introduce actual characters from the sequels into it, so it's pretty cool. I really enjoy it. I've dug some of the new characters they've introduced as well. So it's been pretty good.
Dang, I really want the Mandalorian to kind of go off on its own, but I feel like they're gonna tie it all in together.
Well, I think that's kind of Dave Filoni's thing, right? It's like he spent all this time making sure there are no dead ends and that everything ties up nicely in a nice package.
Because I recently finished, because I'm almost done with season 2, and the other episodes I remember watching, they introduced the dark saber, the
Yeah.
black saber,
Yeah, you got it right the first time.
the dark saber, yeah. And that was like the first time I saw it on like other than the show Mandalorian. It's like, oh shit, let's go! They're actually using it, fighting
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi with it. This is not freaking awesome.
Well, that's the beauty of it. You get to see the dark saber in Clone Wars, and then you see it again a bunch in Rebels, and then you had to figure out how the hell this Moff Gideon guy ended up with it on Mandalorian. How did he get it? So I'm interested in knowing how it turned up in his hands.
Yeah, because like Darth Maul had it for a bit too, right?
Yeah. Yep, Darth Maul. That was the best part about those cartoons is they made Darth Maul into a legitimate character because when he showed up in the prequels, he was just there to like fight and get chopped in half.
Man.
In the prequels, they developed him into a really rich bad guy. He was good.
I mean, he was the coolest bad guy in A Phantom Menace.
Yeah, he was cool. He was cool looking.
I mean, this is my hot take, but I think the whole 9 movie trilogy, or not trilogy, movie series.
Yep.
The Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul was the best fight scene.
Probably. I think the fight scenes definitely got better by the prequels, but if you're just going fight scenes alone, there were some pretty good ones. I would even, if you want to do crazy hot takes, I would also throw in there for contention Rey and Ren fighting those red soldier, whatever those dudes are called.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty amazing, too, because there was a whole of them, working together. And
oh, yeah, combo attack. People.
Yeah.
So. Oh, dude, I remember in an episode of Clone Wars where freaking Anakin threw his lightsaber and cut stuff and like brought it back. I was like, oh shit, let's go.
We know that can happen. Let's go.
He just did it, and it's canon. How come nobody does it?
Yeah, I don't know why more people don't do it. Maybe it takes a certain level of the Force. I'm assuming that the Force is really a graded thing, right? Some people have it a bunch, and some people sort of have it.
Yeah. We saw Rey do it in training, but Rey never used it again. I was like, man, what is this?
Rey Skywalker.
Get out of here. Yeah, honestly, I'm watching the Clone Wars just to get the backstory of Ahsoka.
Yeah, and they develop Ahsoka so well during that cartoon, and then they carry her over into Rebels, and you're like, damn, she's awesome. I can't wait to see, like, the fact that they've teased us that there's going to be a live-action Ahsoka in The Mandalorian this season. I am so pumped to see what she looks like, how they do it.
I know. Does she ever take off her white piece? Is that like a drape only that she wears?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. Those weird snakehead ladies. I've never been clear on which parts like the hat, which parts like their ears or whatever the hell they're supposed. I don't even know what those things are for. They never use them for anything.
You know, Clone Wars was created before Disney got them, right?
Yes.
Because there's a few scenes there. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of
A little risque.
a little risque. There's one scene where they're opening doors, and there's like a sexy robot in there. Like, ooh, so what the heck?
Like, yeah, let's go.
And then there's the other one where remember that one scene where Rex went to this other planet and he found another clone that had a family.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah, and that his wife had like just nipple coverings, and that's it. I was like, damn, what the hell, dude? I thought the show's for kids.
Well, that's what I was saying. Clone Wars isn't as much for kids as like Resistance. So if you don't want your kids to see Star Wars with nipple coverings, jump straight to Resistance.
Oh, you should tell the Nets about what happened when they revealed Boba Fett with your kids' friends.
Oh yeah. So my son was excited about it, so he watched it with some of his friends, and they all immediately thought it was Rex. They were like, "Oh my God, Rex!" Because they'd seen the cartoon and they thought he looked just like Rex, and they did not realize that it was supposed to be Boba Fett.
Turns out it is Rex. You're like, damn it.
Yeah, you could be either, right? Yeah, that's the beauty of, that's the most genius thing Star Wars ever did is you created a clone so you could have one actor play about 1,000 different parts. He could be Rex, he could be Boba, he could be Jenga. It doesn't matter. He's a clone.
It's funny because like they one thing that they compare, they kind of slow down when they show Boba Fett walking and he carries this jingle, and they compared it to the season 1 where they show the foot with the jingle too. Oh shit, he was there in season 1.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So they
that's some
connected the two.
hardcore investigation.
Yeah, man. Thanks to the Reddit bros.
Yeah, Reddit's all over it. They never miss. Nothing but hits. Also on Disney Plus, I have one other small note. We talked about before that WandaVision was supposed to be the only Marvel television show we were going to get in 2020. And we were all excited because it was coming out in November, December sometime. It was officially postponed today until January 15th. So we have an official date. Unfortunately, that means, Disney happens to be, today is the 1 year anniversary. They were celebrating their plus anniversary, as I saw on the Twitters. And I want to be like, damn, Disney, I know you didn't like bait and switch us on purpose, but I signed up for Mandalorian and Marvel shows, and you didn't give me any Star Wars or any Marvel this year.
At all.
So that's a bummer. So sorry, Marvel Bros. We're not getting any WandaVision till January 15th. Hopefully it doesn't get moved again.
That's why they give us that 20% on the Disney store.
Oh,
did you get that?
I did. I don't like to look at those emails all the time, so I missed it. So you're saying there's a discount on Disney crap?
Yeah. And then there's also a really cool picture of Mando and the child.
Yeah.
So I took it and I'm going to do something with it.
Nice.
That's what you get for not giving us Marvel.
You sons of bitches.
Take your crap now.
All right.
Remix.
Remix. Oh, yeah, I think this is a perfect time. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna do some tasty trailers. I got a handful of trailers. I got one Future is Now, and then I've got some new jacuzzi. We got some hot election talk. Spotify is getting ready to offer a brand new service. Pal's Books is a really famous bookstore in Oregon, and you won't believe what they're trying to sell. It's not books. And what about TikTok? Are they still getting banned? I remember the president gave them the date of November 12th. Oh, shit. It's November 12th. So we need to talk about that. And then don't forget, we're going to find out where the super spreader spots are. So everybody could watch out for that. We'll see you on the Flippity Flip.
Need affordable graphic design? VisualAntiDesign.com should be your first stop. High quality work at low prices. Perfect for every need from corporate to personal. Visit VisualAntiDesign.com now and request your free quote. And for a limited time, mention Audionots for 10% off your first project.
Okay, we're back. Welcome back, my friends. I figure since we were so hot for the Star Wars bros and we don't want to play the Star Wars bro twice on you, we're going to stick in that same theme. And so my first tasty trailer is the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. I don't know about you, but this looks fantastic. I'm not ashamed to say that I've always liked Lego movies. I love the original one with Chris Pratt.
Everything is awesome.
Everything was awesome. The second one, take it or leave it. I liked the Ninjago one. Like, I think that's super underrated. So anybody who hasn't seen Lego Ninjago, I don't care if you're an adult and you've got no children. It's funny. Super
pretty
funny.
good.
Yeah. Lego Batman, I could also take it or leave it. I mean, there's some definitely good bits. Some of it was a little over. But if you're into Star Wars and you want to have a good laugh, Star Wars Holidays, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special looks hilarious.
It's like the best parody ever. Looks like.
Yeah. Well, the basic concept is it's a holiday. They're doing some sort of Star Warsian holiday, and Rey stumbles upon some sort of key to the past, and it ends up zooming her back through time, and she ends up in the lap of a young Luke Skywalker, and he's like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then so they find this really clever way using this whole kind of like time machine thing to combine new Star Wars people with old Star Wars people. So you're going to get your original Luke Skywalker with your Rey. You're going to get, Kylo Ren with Darth Vader. You're going to get Mandalorian with Baby Yoda. All of it in one special. It looks pretty silly.
No, I like the one scene where they're like, "Your master's master."
Oh, it's your master's master. My favorite scene is when Kylo Ren shows up and the Emperor's like, "Can't you put on a shirt?" It was so good.
Even the trailer has so much so much comedy. You're just like, man, this looks gonna be so funny.
Yeah, it looks really funny. So if it holds up to what the trailer gave us, it's a real winner. And the best part about this, guys, Star Wars Bro, is it comes out super, super duper soon. November 17th. It's going to end up on Disney Plus. By the time you guys hear that, it's probably only a couple days away. So something to look forward to. I'm definitely going to be watching that with the family.
Maybe it's like a foreshadow to what's to come.
Because do something in the real movies to bring them all together.
Well, didn't you say that Ezra found some kind of time travel place?
Well, so without giving too much away, in Rebels, towards the very end, Ezra ends up in one of these Jedi temples, and the Jedi temples are basically like Star Wars pyramids. And in this particular one, they have the ability to hear every Jedi doing everything ever. Right, so he can hear all the voices of all these different things happening, and you can walk up to basically these black portals and stick your head through and see that moment in time. And he uses it to save Ahsoka from dying, and he wants to go and save other people, and he can, but he stops. So and this is canon, so they've made it so now we know there is a Jedi temple in Star Wars canon where if you go there, you could go back in time and reverse course on something, even though they kept saying that you shouldn't do that. He did it anyways.
But you only see other Jedis?
Yeah, so it's basically connecting all the Force welders into this one thing, but it holds all of space and time. And so you're able to, and as he's walking through it, it's almost like the end of the last Star Wars movie when they're all telling Ray to get the hell up. Like, you can do it. The Force, you hear all the voices. It's just like that. Same idea. In fact, I wish I would have seen this Rebels before that movie because I would have been like, damn, they brought it back. So it was the same idea. You could hear people lightsaber fighting over here. You could hear, everybody yelling about stuff over here. And he could hear all these things happening. And he wants to save people.
Was Ezra one of those voices, you think?
Oh, in the Star Wars one? I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
That'd be so cool if like he did it in the cartoon and it happened in there.
That would be pretty cool. So yeah, they didn't show anything with Rey in the cartoon because I think it came out first. But anyways, yeah, Star Wars Holiday Special. Everybody watch it. My next tasty trailer is also a cartoon. We'll stay in the cartoon realm. Called The Great North. It's a brand new TV show from the Bob's Burgers people. As y'all remember, Bob's Burgers also brought out a brand new show about 2 months ago called Central Park, and I was so excited. Remember, I was like, we gotta watch this. I love Bob's Burgers.
You loved it.
And it was garbage. It was a goddamn musical. There was a bunch of people singing and dancing around on Apple TV, and that's when he said, I'm glad I don't have Apple TV, I'm sure. So The Great North, however, looks much better. It stars Will Forte, Jenny Slate, and Nick Offerman. So it looks pretty good. The big joke in it that I laughed at in the trailer is it seems like it's in Alaska or something, and he's trying to be a boat captain. So he draws what he goes, that's why I drew an anchor on my hat, so they know I'm a captain. And it totally looks like a dick and balls. And the kid's like, oh my God, that's an anchor. That makes me feel so much better.
Did you screenshot that and make a shirt out of it?
Oh, that should totally be a T-Public shirt. That's excellent. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, so The Great North premieres in February on Fox. What did you think about it? I mean, it looks straight up like Bob's Burgers, right?
Yeah, it looks like just like Bob's Burger with new characters, and it has really good voice actors. And
yeah, you can't go wrong with Will Forte.
Yeah. And Will Forte is basically playing Will Forte.
Yep.
It looks promising.
I think it looks really promising. So I can't guarantee nuts that it's going to be better than Bob's Burgers, but I can guarantee it will be better than Central Park, because the trailer alone was better than the first 2 episodes of Central Park.
Yeah, just don't make it a musical, please.
Yeah, please don't sing. Hopefully they got that out of their system. My next trailer stars some really famous 90s action stars, Bruce Willis and Thomas Jane. Bruce Willis, I think, is a pretty well-known name. Everybody knows him. Die Hard, Sixth Sense, a million other movies where he shoots people and says cool stuff.
Die Hard.
Thomas Jane is a little less famous. I remember him as the OG Punisher.
Highlander.
Oh, Highlander.
Right.
So I don't beats the hell out of me. If you say so, I don't watch Highlander. He's been in a lot of crappy action movies too. So together, when you take Bruce Willis and Thomas Jane, they can star in another crappy action movie. So thanks to COVID, we're starting to get some really bad movies pushed to us as if they're going to be something great. There's a brand new movie called Breach starring Bruce Willis, and it looks pretty terrible, but there was one line that got me. So the basic concept of Breach is they're like every space movie. They're flying in the spaceship from crapped out Earth because we destroyed it, and we're going somewhere new. And something bad happens along the way with this voyage of, Earthlings, and they get like an alien shapeshifter on board that decides to go all like vampire-y zombie on them or something. And so Bruce Willis has to go all yippee-ki-yay on him. He's running around, and at one point, he runs into like a room with like a flamethrower. He's like flamethrowing. He goes, "Who wants some barbecue?" It looks like garbage. What did you think?
Yeah, it's like a very B-rated alien movie.
Very much so. But if you're a Bruce Willis fan and you're bored as hell, why not, right?
And there's one scene where they kind of show the monster. I'm like, dude, that's the monster from Stranger Things.
They just reused it.
Yeah,
Can we borrow this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm probably not going to watch it, but it's a funny trailer.
Yeah, watch the trailer, and that's probably all you need. I'm probably not going to watch it either. It does come out on December 18th for those of you who want to watch it. I believe it's exclusively on VOD. If they try to charge more than $15 for it, nobody's going to watch it.
$5.99.
Yeah, that's a fair price. My next tasty trailer is also an amazing 90s action star. From Mr. Mel Gibson comes The Fat Man. The Fat Man was shared with us from one of our amazing listeners.
He's a P1, no?
Oh, P1. That was what I was trying to think about like 6 episodes ago. I was like, what do you call the favorite listeners? P1s.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Stagmo P1.
Stagmo is the P1, man. So Stagmo sent us this. He goes, have you guys seen the trailer for The Fat Man? I'm like, what is that?
Hell is that?
The hell is this? So we look it up. So The Fat Man is a dark comedy starring Mel Gibson as a action-packed Santa Claus that's like jaded and upset, and he decides to like be a badass. He talks about how kids are shooting at him, and there's just like one douchey rich kid that gets mad because he gets coal for Christmas. So he hires a hitman who's that bro from the Unicorn TV show. Do you even know that actor's name? I should have looked.
No, he's in everything.
Everything. If you've ever seen an HBO TV show, he's like one of the guys on that show. So he's got like the big teeth. So anyway,
big forehead.
Giant forehead. Usually he has a southern accent sometimes. So he's a hitman. This kid hires to go kill Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is just like rolling around with like his own AK-47, like, come on, bring it.
He's like, you weren't the first to come for me.
You think you were the first to come for Claus? And the best part about this movie is they play it so serious.
Yeah.
It's clearly a dark comedy that I'm actually kind of, Mel Gibson is a real douchebag human being. So don't get me wrong. I'm not going to get past that. But this movie looks pretty awesome.
Yeah. I like how the narrator's like, you wouldn't want to be on his list.
There's one scene where like they're standing by the reindeer, and one of them kind of like goes like whips his antlers at the dude. He's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Well, good thing that wasn't blitzing. You take your package off or something." I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?"
Yeah, dude. After I watched it, I'm like, this is so ridiculous. I want to watch it.
I want to watch it too. So for everybody who wants to watch it like us, it comes out tomorrow, which is going to be past tomorrow our time. So it's out for you listening right now in theaters. So it's in small group of theaters. Now we know you're not going to risk your life for the Fat Man.
Yeah.
So be happy to know it comes out on VOD November 17th. So that's only a couple days from now. You can just watch it at home. Now this one, I wouldn't doubt that they try to get you for the $14.99 or $19.99 for sure.
So after the Star Wars Christmas special,
Go right into Fat Man. Shock the children. The kids are all like, "Oh my God, what's happening?
it's the Santa Claus.
What's wrong with Santa, Daddy? Why is he like this?" He also hates Jews. Terrible. I'm terrible. My final trailer is for a movie starring Ren's absolute favorite actress. Every time she's in something, he says, "Make sure I know about it because I don't want to miss it." On HBO Max. So guess what, guys? You don't even have to buy this if you already have your subscription rocked and ready. Melissa McCarthy. Did we ever talk about the fact that Melissa McCarthy is somehow related to Jenny McCarthy?
Yeah.
No, shocking. Like, how are they the same DNA?
They're like, I don't know.
Polar opposites. Anyways, I was being facetious. Ren hates himself some Melissa McCarthy, so he probably won't watch this. But anyways, Melissa McCarthy stars in a comedy about a woman who comes face to face with an AI who says that it will destroy the earth if she can't prove humanity is worth saving. Now, the best part about this AI is it's voiced by James Corden. And not only that, they recognize, wait, is this James Corden? And it makes a joke about how, well, James Corden's like, you're like his biggest fan, so we want to sound like something you would understand.
Dude, it's so funny because while I was watching that trailer, I'm like, this voice sounds so familiar. And it hit that one scene. It's James Corden. It's like, oh, shit.
I got to be honest, why I don't hate Melissa McCarthy the way you do. This movie looks pretty funny. Like the concept's pretty solid. So I'm definitely going to be watching it. It has James Corden is the voice of the AI. Melissa McCarthy's husband's also in it, and he was the writer and director, Ben Falcone, who everybody recognizes him when they see him, but nobody knows what he looks like when you just say the name. And the film drops on the 26th of this month, November 26th.
Wait, that's her real husband?
That is her. So the guy that plays the like two FBI type agents, he is the second FBI agent. He's always in her movie as like her husband or the guy that's mean to her.
Oh, I don't know. I think the reason why I don't like her is like her comedy it feels really forced for me. Like it's just
she is a little over the top. She is, she reminds me of like a female Jim Carrey, where she sometimes takes it so far it's just not funny anymore. Like Jim Carrey used to be the king of that. He'd do all this funny stuff, but he keep pushing the envelope, and you're kind of like, okay, I got it, guy.
Yeah, I think old boy just got that trailer just to spite me.
You're gonna watch this and you're gonna like it.
Remember that time you bought me Thor?
This is for Thor, you son of a bitch.
And there's one more coming your way. There's Thor 2.
Every time we get a new Melissa McCarthy movie, I'm gonna be like, and our number one trailer is,
watch this.
You got to see it. I got a brand new category that I actually forgot to tease. So you're gonna love this. I call this category today years old. I was today years old when I learned what chainsaws were invented for. Let me ask you, Ren, do you know what chainsaws were invented for?
For cutting.
Yeah, but what were they for cutting? That's the question.
It was to cut metal.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
that's a great guess, but not correct. So this is a fun game. So anybody who's listening on your computer, not in your car, if you're in your computer, pause and Google, because a lot of this is really part of the image. Google what were chainsaws invented for, and then unpause us to share your reaction. Go ahead and Google that on your computer there, Ren. What chainsaws were invented for? So while he Googles it, we'll talk about what happened here. So
What?
I was on the Twitters, and someone said, Google what chainsaws were invented for right now. And so I thought, well, what could it possibly be? So I got on the computer and I'm like, pop, 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 pop. And I imagine now, because so many people have Googled it, it came up pretty quickly. I think I was like, what were? And it was like pre-populates chainsaws invented for. So we learned the horrific nature of what chainsaws. Oh, love the face. So the origination of chainsaws, and this is going to be fun for everybody listening, is they were invented for surgery, for cutting through bones of human beings. It wasn't until like a century afterwards, a decade afterwards, that they decided to use them to cut down trees. So they invented the chainsaw, was invented for ripping through bones for people that had gangrene and all these different things where they had it. Because I think I remember back in the Civil War, they were sawing people's legs off by hand. And so that was the advent of the chainsaw, breaking ribs, cutting legs.
Damn, so we've been seeing that throughout time, but never put the two together, huh?
Yeah, I don't think anybody realized that, Dexter had it right from the beginning. Chainsaws are for cutting up people.
Not wood.
Not wood. I mean, there you go. So that was today years old. Next time I come up with another thing that no one else knew until today, we'll bring that category back.
Oh, do I know a place you could get information?
Oh, nice. Keep it off air, and then we can
Yeah.
surprise people each episode. So
Yeah.
maybe I think this could be an easy one to populate with, because we're all idiots, and there's always new things to learn.
I was today years old.
Today years old. So our next category, the future is now. Boop, beep, boop, beep, bop. I saw that, you remember we talked about it a while back. Elon Musk had been working on this Hyperloop kind of train thing. It's like a super train that goes underneath the ground.
Oh, in LA?
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah.
It could go from like LA to Seattle, and like I think the original one is supposed to go from LA to San Francisco in like an hour or something, and it's supposed to go up to 650 miles per hour or something of that nature. Well, I didn't realize at the time that Elon Musk, while it was his idea, he basically wrote like a white paper on it, and he published it out to the world and said, anybody can use this. You don't have to pay me for it. So he put the entire concept out there, how it should be done, and he let anybody they wanted to try it. Well, guess what? Virgin, the airplane guys, Virgin Air,
Yeah.
Robert Branson or whatever his name is, they actually did it. They've made a Hyperloop train. And so they've been testing it with real people for the first time ever. Just last weekend, they had a contest internally with their staff, and two folks were lucky enough to risk their lives in this super speedy train tunnel.
Volunteer as tribute.
The tributes climbed in there, a male and a female. And so far, they've only successfully gone up to, I think, 280 miles per hour, which is well short of the 650 miles per hour it supposedly can go. They said the reason they're not able to get those speeds is because they've basically set up in like the desert, and they only have so many miles of desert that they can use for their testing, and they just can't get enough track. You have to get enough track going for you to hit those super speeds. But supposedly they figured out the ballast and all this stuff that keeps it so when you're inside the tube, you don't feel like you're gonna die. It's not like one of those where you used to go to like the old crappy fairs, you get on that like
Those
that
spinning
thing that
things?
spins around that spaceship looking thing, and
The
you
tornado?
like sticking to the walls. And so they somehow figured it out so that doesn't happen. But yeah, that means they're that much closer. So I know that they've already procured the ground to go underneath, and I think that the future is now. We're gonna have a Hyperloop from LA to San Francisco in the next 10 years.
That'd be so cool. The traffic would be amazing.
Well, the best part about it is you could probably, because San Francisco is one of the most expensive cities in the world to live. You could live in somewhere much more affordable, but fly to your San Francisco job, get that San Francisco money, and go live like a king somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, if they can improve that and make it work, they can start dragging little, super tunnels all over the United States. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, how cool would it be? We live by Portland. You hop on a train in Portland and go see a Seahawk game, and you're there in 45 minutes. I mean, let's go.
Let's go.
All right, I think it's time to dip our toes in the news jacuzzi. First of all, I figure we should probably mention, since it is the news jacuzzi, we don't want to let it go by without at least talking about it. There was a little election that happened. We got a new president, at least for now.
Elected.
Yeah, we got a president-elect. Congratulations, Mr. Joe Biden. I'm sorry, all the Trump fans that listen to our show. I don't know if there's many, but if there are, no hard feelings. It's all fair game. Go ahead and lower your truck flag to half-mast. You lost. But we're not going to talk about that because all the news stations talk about that. What I want to talk about, because we always like to talk about how great Oregon is, Oregonians went crazy with passing all sorts of crazy drug laws. So for those of you who don't live in our beautiful, fine state, it's pretty much like a gangster's paradise in Oregon now. They legalized medical shrooms. So medical mushrooms are completely legal. So if you want to get all psychedelic, they're using them now. They didn't legalize it, but they said, you know what, guys? Hard drugs are okay as long as you have them in small amounts. So if you get caught with, say, a pocket full of heroin or meth, you're only going to get a ticket and you're going to get a trip to rehab. So I think this is actually pretty smart. And I understand why people might be frustrated with it, but rather than filling up jail cells with criminals on criminals that don't learn anything, and then as soon as they get back out, they just are repeat offenders, they're going to have to go to rehab and get cleaned up, and hopefully enough trips to rehab will fix some of these poor souls.
I thought it was like one or the other. It's both?
It's both. Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yep. And I think it can work. I think that if they stick with it, it could be a nice boon to our economy, kind of like sin tasks. I've always been a big fan of sin taxes. I like it when they tax us on gambling because we don't need to gamble. I like it when they tax us on marijuana because you don't need to smoke weed. I said, bring it on cigarettes, bring it on alcohol. This is like a next level sin tax with these fines. And then hopefully at the same time, you're helping some of these guys and gals get clean.
You're telling me I could carry crack in my pocket?
You can, if you want to. Have you been jonesing? You're like, I gotta get that crack.
I need that coke, man.
Next episode, Ren's gonna be like, I'm
gonna go back to my other camera so you can't see my face.
Scratching. Zombie Ren, what happened?
It's legal.
It's legal. All right. So moving on to my next story, Spotify. So we broadcast this podcast. Say broadcast podcast a bunch of times. That's fun. On pretty much anywhere we can listen to podcasts. We're on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, all these good ones. If you can find it, Google. So Spotify has realized, because everybody's out for a buck, that podcasts are growing enormously. We have one, your mom has one, your cousin has one. I think your pets probably have a couple. So they are creating a Spotify podcast service. So pretty soon, if you have Spotify premium or commercialized, you are only going to get music on one and podcast on another one. And if you want to listen to them both commercial free, you'll have to pay. So if you want to listen to the Audionots once this happens, you can listen to us still for free. You can get our dorky commercials that we shove in here, but also a few extra that Spotify plugs in between for everybody's enjoyment. So hopefully you can jump somewhere else if you don't want those, or you'll pay the premium.
Nice. Do we get any cut from that?
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I think that if you get to a certain level, you probably do. Because I know for a fact that they're using Joe Rogan. They've signed Joe Rogan to, I believe, an exclusive contract. And so the amazing Joe Rogan will be the face of Spotify podcast. So if you're into Joe Rogan, it's kind of like what they did with Howard Stern. Howard Stern had enough fans that they were able to take him from celestial radio and put him on satellite radio. And everybody went. They got like 100 million signups like the next day. It was incredible, all because of one dude. I'm not sure that Joe Rogan carries quite the weight that Howard Stern did, at least during Howard Stern's prime. But he'll definitely, people will sign up for this just for Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and like Spotify said they're gonna do the videos too.
Yeah, and they've started that. I don't know if anybody watches. We're not quite big enough for them to offer us that
Yeah.
particular service. Otherwise, you'd be able to see us on Spotify. But for the real big ones, the Joe Rogans of the world, the fantasy footballer guys, they all have like live video inside the Spotify app. So if you ever flip it on, you're just listening. I didn't even realize it until one day I looked down, like, holy crap, I can see them talking.
Maybe once you get your camera set up, they'll offer us. You guys
Yeah, they'll
look
be like, you
amazing.
guys look fantastic. You need
Yeah,
to be
need
on
a
our
show.
channel.
Yeah.
We'll be like, it's true. We're so good looking. Also locally, Powell's Bookstore, which is one of the most famous bookstores in the entire world, happens to be located in beautiful Portland. They're struggling just like everybody else with COVID-related financing. And so they've got a clever little thing they've come up with for Christmas, just in time for the holidays. You can buy Powell's cologne. And you're saying to yourself, what would a Powell's cologne smell like? Old books. So you know that smell, right? Everybody knows that smell. Like, I almost wish, and this is the first thing I thought of, because they're selling it as real book lovers go into a bookstore and they like immediately like, oh yeah, I like that smell. They like that paper smell. I could relate to it if they created a comic book cologne. I'd be so all over that. As a kid that grew up on comic books, that paper with the ink always had a scent to it. I was super into it. Super into it.
So, Dark Horse, get on it.
Yeah, they're local. Dark
Yeah.
Horse. Get some Dark Horse. Their logo would be a dope cologne bottle too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cologne, Powell's cologne. Let me ask you: Would you buy and wear Powell's cologne?
I don't really wear cologne. So,
That's right. You don't even wear deodorant. You tell them
Yeah.
that. That's everybody's like, what?
I know, because I don't smell, man. I don't know why.
Wait till you get on the crack. That'll change it.
Oh yeah.
You get the itches. You're like, ah. So Powell's cologne is, I believe, on sale now. And guess what? It's only $15.95. So
Yes.
if you want to smell like a thing of old books, very inexpensive, very affordable.
Imagine if like a dude uses it just to like impress girls, like, shh, and you know all those girls like, oh my god, you smell so good.
You smell like my dad's library. I love it.
And he could be like, I'm an open book.
Oh, for the win.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. That's so good. Yeah. So I think that's actually a pretty good holiday gift. So if you got any book lovers in your life, I believe it's just on their website. So Google Pals. I'm sure you'll be able to find it.
It'd be funny if you're reading on your like Amazon Note or whatever, digitally.
Yeah.
And you just spray it everywhere so you can get that smell while you're reading.
Oh yeah. So it brings you into it, even though
Yeah.
you're like on a Kindle or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
with you.
The Kindle. That's what I said.
You said Amazon Note. It's the cracks already kicking in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if everybody remembers, but it wasn't that long ago, about a month ago, the president told TikTok that they were getting banned. He said,
TikTok?
yeah, TikTok. He said, hey, TikTok, if you don't get someone to purchase your company before November 12th, a U.S. person, I'm going to kick you off. No one gets to have you anymore. And so you're probably wondering, as you're looking at your phone right now and it's past November 12th and your TikTok still works fine and dandy, he forgot. So the story, which I'm reading on Mashable, was pretty hilarious, and I'll just kind of summarize it for everyone. But basically, TikTok has been trying to reach out to Washington and the president for months after he threatened to ban them on this very specific date. And, Trump's been so busy, fighting his electoral battle that he's completely forgotten about it. So there's your good thing, guys. The president has forgotten that TikTok exists because I guess they're not harassing him with their K-pop voter fraud or whatever it was he was worried about originally.
Yeah.
And so it's safe for now. And I think that Biden didn't care at all. So you might be good.
Wow. He just straight up forgot.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like they pulled so many resources, are all focused in on the whole election fraud thing, which is not a thing, that he has totally forgotten and or ignored TikTok, even though TikTok keeps saying, hey, listen, we didn't, they're asking for an extension. So they are in the midst of a deal with Oracle. So Oracle will buy a portion of it enough. I think it only had to be like 25% partnership, so they would have a legal right to be in America, and they haven't quite worked out the financials. And so they've been telling the president, because he never told them that if they would give him an extension. So like, hey man, we don't want you to shut us down. We make a lot of money in America.
Yeah.
We need you to tell us if we're okay. And they said zero, no responses, no emails, no nothing. So it's just they're totally getting like ghosted by El Presidente.
Maybe it runs in the gene. Remember Eric Trump tweeted out, "Get out and vote, guys!" Even the election's already over. Like, what the hell?
He's like, don't forget, you can still vote.
He's even, don't forget, no more TikTok. I mean, he's like, not president.
Yeah, he's like, I've banned it. And I'm like, dude, bro, you're not even in charge anymore. All right. So my final story that I promised, I teased at the very beginning of the episode, was we're going to share with you the 4 super spreader spots that you should totally avoid over the next 2 months. So let's see. This story is pretty good. So they ran these data points, and the data paints a sobering picture of what might happen if people abandon social distancing and resume normal life amid the fluctuating case counts. But it also illuminates a future that doesn't require total economic shutdown if we choose the path associated with minimizing infection. So these findings, which offer critical insight to policymakers designing public health guidance, were published Tuesday in the Journal of Nature. Instead of advising lockdown for months on end, the data points picked 4 super spreader sites that pose the highest risk of infection. So here it is, guys. This is what you need to avoid for the next 2 months. And if we can do this as a group, we won't have everything shut down. Otherwise, it all closes. And I'm sure we won't be able to do it because we're all idiots. Number 1 is full service restaurants. I know you love it. I know you want to eat there. You can still order to go, eat it at home, eat it in your car. You know, I gotta tell you what, my family and I, we go out and we're doing things. We don't go into restaurants. We eat in the car. We have car picnics. Why not? It's all good. It works.
And just pack some like chairs and tables, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard. The best part about the COVID thing is you could get a really good restaurant that never delivered right to your house, and they're happy to do it. And so stay away from full service restaurants.
No more Red Robins.
No more Red Robin.
Oh my gosh.
No more Olive Garden, even though Olive Garden is gross as S. Don't eat there.
How am I gonna live?
How shall we survive? Number 2, gyms. Everybody, you need to get home gyms. No more. Ren's like, oh no, what should I do? I canceled my Planet Fitness quite a bit ago. We took that money and we invested it in a knockoff Peloton. We plopped that in. In fact, it's in the same room that I do my podcast from. So everybody needs to start. This Christmas is the perfect time. Get your family member their own piece of gym equipment they like. There's lots of great weight sets. There's the home gym business is booming. So there's a lot of great choices.
Do you call yours the Pelonot?
Yeah, it's a Pelonot. I stuck a bunch of fake Supreme stickers on it so it looks dope as hell.
Hey, no one knows, man.
I'm like, yeah, this is that Supreme model, son.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stay at home, stick Supreme stickers on your fake Pelotons like me. So stay out of gyms, okay? You can do it. I know you can. All you buff bros.
They just sent me another promo. 0 down, first month free. Come back.
Ignore that.
No.
They're going to still be begging for you to come back in January. So we got to do it. We got to do it for 2 months, okay? Next but not least, hotels. Hotels, people, let's not travel anywhere. Let's not go into hotels. Hotels are a super spreader site. So stay out of hotels. That means no overnights, okay? Really easy. That one I think seems pretty simple. I think less people are traveling.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to travel.
And what happens, this is what happens is everybody's traveling for the holidays. So number 1, I would suggest don't travel for the holidays. Use FaceTime, Zoom, whatever you want to do. Stay at home, but together, right? So you can still pop up some TVs and see each other. Y'all don't need to hang out because that's the number 1 contributor right now is people doing, it's just my 10 family members. It's no big deal. I know they're safe. And then all 10 of them get it and take it out to the world. So don't do that. Stop it.
Guys, I saw someone on my socials posted something like, I got from this day off. Where should we go? I'm like, don't go anywhere.
Go for a hike. You want to go something? Do it outside, all by yourself, with like the people you live with. So here it is, guys. If you live with a bunch of people, then you're set. Do stuff with those people. If you're living with them, you're good. Don't invite people who don't live with you to hang out. Don't do that. Stop it.
But maybe they don't want to do things with them because of...
Well, suck it up. If you only could suck it up for a couple months, we'll be done with this, you idiots. All right. And last but not least, which is this one's I think is kind of funny because I think it's very similar to restaurants, but it's cafes. So for all of you who's like, oh, okay, I won't go to Red Robin, but I can't not go to sit in my local Starbucks or my favorite breakfast joint. I mean, I'm just going to grab a cup of coffee. That's fine. Order it to go. So we need to avoid cafes. They're basically avoiding any of these establishments, especially if they're operating at full capacity, which some of these, we won't say what kind of states, red states are doing. Stay out of there. It's really easy. You can do it. 2 months. That's all we have to do. We got to get through this winter. They say that if we can do this for 2 months, that this 10% of locations account for 80% of all infections. Okay, let's do that.
80%?
10% affects 80%. So you stay away from these things. What do we reduce it by? 80%. You know what will happen by then? The vaccine will come out. We'll start to get better. The better weather will start to come back, and we'll be able to recover. So that's what everybody needs to do. And that's their daily dose of getting a lecture from the Audionots. We don't do that too often. But so now you know. Now you know how to be safe.
Next time my wife's like, let's go eat out over here. I'm like, have you listened to our podcast?
Don't you know that's a super spreader? 10% equals 80%. So everybody use that math when you're telling somebody why you don't want to go out and have Red Lobster tonight. I can't go to the Red Lobster, hun. That's a 10%er.
Take it to go. That's why the food cart's booming, man.
Yeah, heck yeah. Heck yeah. So that's all I have, unless you have anything else you want to throw out there before we say adieu.
I think that's it too.
Nice. All right, everybody. With that, we will say goodbye, and we will see you all on the flip side. Bye.